Hi, and welcome to Teen Book Bites. I'm Lauren, the young adult librarian at the Memorial Branch, and I will be your host today. So, we are really excited to share with you some of our favorite recent manga series. All of the books that you hear about today, you can get through our library catalog, either digitally or physically, and get at your local branch. So, if anyone is unfamiliar with manga, it is a traditional Japanese style comic book. The ones we're talking about today have all been translated into English, but they still read right to left, just like they would be if you were reading them in Japanese. So, that can take a little bit of time to adjust to that reading style, but the stories and the artwork are definitely worth it. Now, manga comes in all sorts of different genres. You can get horror, slice of life, romance, action, comedy, drama, the list goes on and on. So, whatever you like, you can find a manga version of it. And some series can just be one or two volumes. Others, like Naruto or One Piece, exceed 70 volumes. Like I said, whatever you like, you can find a manga that will meet those needs. So today we are going to be talking about some of our favorites at Los Angeles Public Library. So we're starting with Amanda from Teenscape.
Hi. Hello, everybody. My name is Amanda. I'm a librarian at Teenscape, which is the library within downtown LA's Central Library that is just for young people, ages 12 to 19. I have a slideshow for you today because today I'm going to be sharing one of my absolute favorite manga, which was recommended to me. And so now I'm super happy that I get to recommend it to you. This is the manga that when I show it to patrons here at the library, if I have volume one on hand to be checked out, I just open the book and tell them the story, and they always check it out. So anyway, a little bit more about Teenscape. I can tell you that if you haven't visited Teenscape, we have an amazing manga collection. We have over 700 different manga series on our shelves and over 5,000 individual volumes. And today's title, the one I'm going to be talking about, is one of my absolute favorites. It's Witch Hat Atelier. So you should be seeing the covers of Witch Hat Atelier on your screen right now. This series is just really amazing. The art is beautiful, and it's the story of Coco. It's by the author Kamome Shirahama. The story of Coco, a 12-year-old girl in a magical land. This is Coco here on the cover of Volume 1. Coco has always been fascinated by magic, but everyone in her world knows that witches are born and not made. And Coco wasn't born a witch. So here are some illustrations from the book. So one day, Coco sees a Pegasus carriage in the sky, and in that carriage is a witch. The witch is Kifri. Coco spies on Kifri when he does a magic spell, and in so doing, she learns the secret of magic. Anyone can do it. Magic isn't cast with words, though, it's drawn, and Coco loves to draw. When Coco tries magic on her own with a pen and ink she was given by a mysterious stranger, something terrible happens. Kifri saves Coco, but he's too late to save Coco's mother. In order to keep the secret of magic and learn to undo the terrible harm Coco did with her spell, Coco agrees to be Kifri's apprentice. She agrees to learn magic. But little does Coco know that the mysterious stranger who gave her the tools to perform dangerous magic was part of a much bigger conspiracy. The witches who wear brimmed caps are at war with Kifri and the other witches, and no one is safe. Pick up Volume 1 of Witch Hat Atelier to follow Coco on amazing adventures in strange and beautiful lands. See her learn, not just learn magic, but practice it. One of the things I really love about this series is how Coco learns new skills and practices them and becomes good at them rather than just being magically good at it. Um, So the illustrations by Shirahama are detailed, fanciful, and imaginative black and white art. The world of Witch Hat Atelier is immersive and hauntingly beautiful. In this story, Coco meets loyal friends, battles frightening enemies, and learns about herself and the world. Witch Hat Atelier is an ongoing series with 8 volumes available now, and volume 9 is expected in June of 2022.
Thank you, Amanda. That is one of my favorites too. I'm like, the artwork is so beautiful. And I love that the story is kind of an all ages story. I mean, I feel like younger readers and older readers, adults, will also enjoy it.
This is a story that anybody can enjoy. We all kind of relate to it about having interests like drawing, especially if you love to draw. I feel like this is a really great book that shows you the magic of drawing, not just the art from the artist, but the character's interest in it. And like I said, I've recommended it to numerous patrons. They always check it out when they see the art, and they always love it.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. Next up, we have Oscar from the Pio Pico branch.
Hi everyone, I'm Oscar. I'm the young adult librarian at the Pio Pico Koreatown branch. And I feel like I should start off by saying I'm not much of a manga reader. But once I started reading My Brother's Husband by Gengoro Tagame, I had a really hard time putting it down. It really changed my perceptions of what manga can be, and I look forward to reading more manga in the near future. My Brother's Husband tells the story of 3 main characters. There's Yaichi, who's a Japanese man who recently lost his twin brother Ryoji. And then Kana is Yaichi's daughter, and she's working through dealing with having parents who are now separated. And both of their lives are changed when the title character, a Canadian gentleman named Mike, appears at the door and they all meet for the first time. It's immediately obvious that Yaichi and his brother were distant during the last part of Ryoji's life, and he didn't quite understand his gay sibling who had moved to Canada as a young man. While Mike is welcomed into the home, especially by Kana, it's very obvious that Yaichi is initially very uncomfortable with the situation. And in one scene, he's coming out of the bathroom shirtless, sees Mike, and then feels the need to immediately run back in and put more clothes on. During the course of the story, all of the characters grow in different ways. As Yaichi gets to know Mike, his homophobic perceptions are challenged to the core, and he changes into a more accepting brother-in-law. Kana learns the different meanings of family, and through Mike, and especially through challenging her parents through conversations with them. And last but not least, Mike is able to fulfill a promise he made to Ryoji to one day go to Japan and meet the family and see the places that he loves so much. The story ends when Mike's 3-week visit to Japan ends, and a tearful Yaichi is seen being able to finally grieve over the loss of his brother. I especially enjoyed reading both of the volumes and being introduced to everyday aspects of Japanese culture, and there's some clashing with Mike's more Western attitudes. There were parts that were a little difficult to get through, especially with both Yaichi and Mike grieving the loss of Ryoji. And it's especially hard for Mike because since they were twins, he sees Ryoji's face whenever he talks to Yaichi. And I think this all added a really nice depth to the story, and it was a little challenging for me to read, but I think it really added to the story and made it even more rich than it already is. And it wasn't so intense that I couldn't continue reading. This manga is available both as a print book and ebook right now.
Thank you, Oscar. I loved my brother's husband too. I just thought it was such a beautiful story, and I was so sad that it was only 2 volumes.
I know. I wish there was more. Like, does Mike come back and visit again? Like, I'd like to know what happens next.
I know, right? We could just imagine what happens. Well, thank you so much. Next, we have Yoko from Little Tokyo.
Hi, hello everyone. Today I'd like to introduce the manga Captivated by You by Llama. The manga consists of 8 episodes in one book. The first 4 episodes are about the daily life of Mirai Hayashi, a high school boy who is a bit strange. And then the last 4 episodes are about Akira Nikaido, the most hated boy in school. The charm of this manga is the unorthodox comedy. The setting takes place in a high school, and the main characters are the high school students I listed before. In the middle of every story, unexpected events and unexpected encounter occur that make us laugh. As you continue reading, you will feel as if you are in a story, and Hayashi and Nikaido are your friend. The author of this manga, Yama Wayama, first published this work in the doujinshi, that means fan fiction comics for otaku people, and was discovered by the major publisher. Captivated by You won a lot of awards the year it was published. Her works are very distinctive. Yamawayama was influenced by Junji Ito and then Makoto Kobayashi. Junji Ito wrote Tomie, and Makoto Kobayashi wrote What's Michael? You can see it when you look at her detail and a strong brush stroke. So, what is the appeal about Yama Wayama's work? It's the unexpected events of the everyday. All of her works show everyday life. There are other works by Yama Wayama. This one. Karaoke 行こう in English. Let's go karaoke. And this one, 女の園の星 in English. Star in the Women's Garden. These two works have not yet been translated into English, but they are both manga that have comedic elements. Captivated by You by Yama Wayama is highly recommended. Thank you.
Thank you, Yoko. I'm super excited. I'm going to place a hold on that one today because it sounds really interesting. And
Yes.
of course, you bring up Junji Ito, who I really love too.
Yeah, he's really good. Yeah,
Yeah. So thank you so much. I'm excited.
thank you.
And our last presenter today is Lorena from Cypress Park.
Hello, everybody. Today I am reviewing the manga Ascendance of a Bookworm. I'll do anything to become a librarian. And when I read that title, I was like, I have to read this. First of all, the main character, she's so cute. Her name, well, okay. So the story goes, it starts out with this college girl. She is in present day Japan, and she's in love with books. But from the first page, she passes away. She's buried in her book. Her bookshelf falls or something. I think it was an earthquake in Japan, and her books fall, and she dies buried in books. And she is reincarnated as a peasant in another world, which in manga is called isekai genre, when there is a transport from one world to a completely unknown world. So this manga falls into that genre. So as a reincarnated peasant, she is a little sickly little girl. Of course, her book passion she's reincarnated still with this book passion. And as soon as she wakes up, she's like, I need books. Where is this? What is this place? But I need a book. I don't know where I am, but I hope there's books here. So the first volume of this manga just deals with her trying to learn her new world and her place in it, and how she can get books, because really she's just obsessed. And I recommend, well, from the get-go, I recommend it because she's so cute. She's so tenacious. She sees something that she thinks is a book, and she begs the merchant in the store to let her touch it at least. And she realizes that books in this new world are rare. They have to be handmade, and literacy is very low in this new world, and it's only for nobility. And she's like, why was I born a peasant? And she's just so cute. But throughout the volumes, well, volume 1 and volume 2 kind of have her trying to find a way to make her books, because she says if there aren't any books for me to buy, I need to make some. So she tries her hand at making papyrus, and she talks a little bit about the Egyptians and how they made papyrus, and that doesn't work. It takes too long to like weave the fibers together. And then she wants to make clay plates, books from clay plaques or plates, but that's time consuming, and also nobody really knows how to read or write, that people that she's surrounded by, because they're all peasants and workers. So but somehow by volume 3 and 4, she finds a merchant who will teach her how to make books if she teaches him all of her otherworldly knowledge, because she was reincarnated but still has all this knowledge from the other world. Like cooking, she impresses everybody with her making pancakes, and she's considered a god because she knows how to use different ingredients to make all this delicious food. So Mine, which is the name of this little girl, she is wise beyond her years. She's tenacious. She's stubborn, and she does not let up until she knows how to make books. And I will leave you with the cliffhanger that she does sign a contract with a merchant to help her, to teach her how to make books, and she signs it in blood. And at this point is when kind of the fantasy elements start coming in. So currently there are 7 volumes in the library's catalog. The manga is ongoing, and there's also light novels in our catalog. The light novel version of this manga in the catalog as a actual physical book and ebook as well. So I totally recommend it. It's super cute, it's campy, and you'll have a really good time reading it.
Thank you. That one sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, obviously for librarians, book lovers.
Yes, totally. But anybody that's coming to watch Book Bites obviously loves books, so it'll really please anybody who reads it. It's really cute.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Well, thank you to everybody for participating today, for listening, for sharing your manga titles. We would love to hear from you what your favorite manga titles are. And we hope that you will join us again next month on Monday, February 28th at 3 p.m. as we celebrate African American Heritage Month with books for teens about Black ingenuity, Black community, and Black joy. In the meantime, feel free to check out some of our previous videos on our LAPL YouTube channel for more great recommendations. Thank you so much.